Hey guys, welcome back to Easel Does It Studio. My name is Michelle, and we're gonna do something a little bit fun. So, Let's Resin had reached out and asked me what mold I would like to try. So I have almost all of their molds. So it was really difficult because, like you guys know, 90% of my stuff is Let's Resin. So I have almost all their molds. I have not done all of them, but I do have, we have the chessboard with the chess pieces, so we'll be doing that coming up. So I ended up picking this because I really liked how my little table had come out. So this comes with the octagon, hexagon, whatever it is, and all of these. So, and the reason this is out is because I did measure this with water so that I had a clue on how much resin. So this takes 64 ounces of resin. And this is called the Let's Resin mold, resin flower preservation mold with the hexagon, square, large epoxy mold, cube, sphere, and pyramid. So it has got a little tiny square. It has got a, I think this is a measuring cup. Yeah, a little measuring cup. So it comes with 2 measuring cups, which these are going to come in so handy. So you get 2 of those. This little pyramid, I have their big ones, but I have not used them yet. So we are going to be using those coming up too, but we have this nice little one. So I believe you just fill it up this way. And then this sphere mold, this round, which I thought would be handy. You know how I'm always putting stuff in stuff. So this is a 2-piece mold. So we could get, you know, part of it done, secure item, and then get our top piece on and then finish filling it because it has the hole at the top. So this is going to be really handy from when I'm, you know, wanting to add things into a ball. So yeah, so it comes with that. It comes with the square mold as well, that you can do the same thing. This one is yeah, they're about the same. I thought this one might be a little taller, but they're not. They're the same height. So I did not measure this one yet. It comes with some sticks and some pipettes. So, and then obviously the mold manual. So, you know, it just kind of shows how to pour it, how to make your molds last longer, you know, all the basic stuff. So today we're going to use this one. And I am going to, let me open this one too. So this one's a little bit wonky, but hopefully being out of the package, it will straighten out a little bit. All right, so I'm just gonna set this over to the side and we're gonna use this. So I'm gonna have to pour this in layers. I've got 16 ounces of resin mixed up. I have got this box of flowers that I got from Amazon, and these flowers are just beautiful. So I thought it was just the flowers until just a minute ago when I was starting to open this to see what I was going to do. It has like the little sticks that you can actually make, you know, put your flowers on. So it comes with a couple of those, hot glue stick, some of this, all kinds of little things. So, and I got this on Amazon. It comes with these type of leaves, which I'm assuming are the leaves for these type of flowers. So we're going to use these, but I'm not going to use all of the sticks. But I was thinking, remember these birds that I bought a while back? Well, they would fit in here perfectly. So if I take one of these sticks or one of the regular flatter sticks, and I could bend it, you know, I don't know if these, oh, they do bend. Then I could actually attach this bird so it looked like he was sitting on this twig. And then I would just have it kind of going like into the flowers. So I don't know on this right yet. And then I'm like, well, is the red going to work with these color flowers? So I don't know. And then I also had some of these left that I had purchased before that we had used in the other one. So I pulled them out, and I'm thinking, well, maybe, you know, we could put some of those in and kind of have the bird sitting on that. This one, I am going to be doing this one upside down. So this one is going to be done a little bit different than the way I did my other one. So I'm going to pour enough in here to get some on the bottom. And I want to leave some so that I can soak the flowers in the resin to try to prevent bubbles. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. And I can see, I thought it was a hair, but maybe it wasn't. So I will be using my heat gun, even though this will degas really good. So this is the Bond Craftor Deep Pour. I thought I had some Deep Pour Let's Resin, and I don't. So I probably could have poured this first layer with the regular epoxy, but because it's cold in here, well, cooler, I have my heat on, but it's still cooler. We're at like 12 degrees outside, and I'm in the basement, so it's cool even with my heater on. Oh, really? Something just jumped in my pot. So I wanted something that I knew would degas, and this cures in 24 hours instead of 3 days. So there's that. And that way I figured I could get this done quicker. So I probably should have used the regular resin for this first layer because it's not really that thick, but we're just gonna, I'm gonna plug my heat gun in. I'm gonna get out as many bubbles as I can, and then we will start placing the flowers. Now this time I don't have any rhyme or reason on where I'm putting my flower placement. So I have had this mold set since just before Christmas, but I could not find my flowers. And I finally found them on Christmas Eve. So, because I had my roses, but the roses, the way I wanted to do them, they still were too tall for this. I suppose I could have cut some of the back of the roses off, and that might have worked. So we might try that in the square one at some point. So let me just get a couple of paper towels because I'm going to be making a mess, and I'm going to just move this kind of out of my way on this side for now until I can kind of figure out what I'm doing. So look at these flowers, how beautiful they are. So there's some big ones. There's some of these. So what I'm thinking is if I have the bird in here, I want my flowers to be around this way. And then I can have the green go behind the bird. So I'm going to see how it goes with placing my flowers. So because I'm doing this upside down, I need to put my flowers in first. So I just want to kind of see what I have for different flowers and different colors. So we have 2 of these, and we got 2 of these ones. Oh no, we have 2 pink. All right, we only have 1 of these. And then we do have some smaller ones. So I'm thinking, let's use this one, like right in here, and then we can put some smaller ones around it. Yeah. All right, so what I want to do is I want to pour some resin kind of in this flower. And these are silk. So I'm hoping that the color does not run. All right, so I wanted to get it in that deeper area. And then we're just going to kind of poke that in the resin, and we're going to let it drain a little bit. Give it another swoosh in there. So what I'm doing is I'm hopefully eliminating any bubbles that are going to try and get trapped underneath this flower. And I'm going to spray it. And we're going to set this down. Just like that. So that one, just trying to see what different colors here I have. Oh, these are kind of pretty. So, oh, where's my tweezers? I think I'm going to need something to kind of hold this. See. do the same. I don't want it like the same everywhere. So I'm going to probably put this one down here. And that fell right where I wanted it to go. And let's see, we've got one of these. We've got two of these. And oh, these are really different. Look at those. Those are really cool. Because I'm thinking we maybe can add some, and then on the next layer we can add some more, depending on where we end up. So I am gonna, let's dip these in. Kind of let these drain off a little bit. And let's see. I don't really want that stem showing. So let me take this. And I'm going to throw that little piece away. Let me take hang on here. And I didn't soak them first. And then we're going to put, and that one we're going to put on this side. We'll put one on that side and a couple here. And then, let's see, what other color? Let's do this light lavender one. Like that. And oh, this one's really pretty. So we'll put, now I don't know if I want to use the bird because I'm afraid he's not going to match. Gosh, wish you guys could tell me. I should have did this on a live so you guys could have told me if I should or not. But I suppose cardinals just kind of go in flower gardens anyways, right? So let's just plop that there. Now, this one is not going to show through there. Okay, so hang on. There we go. As long as we've got that resin, and then when I pour the other resin on top, this will be adhered, so our next layer, it won't float up. Yeah. That one there. Okay. And let's do this pinkish. I'm just trying to see what other colors I've got here. Oh, I have these too. These will be cute. All right, so let's dip this in. Oh, come on. That. No, we're going to move this little bugger over. We're going to put the white one there and then that dark purple one. I'm just kind of squeezing down on these ones. I could see a few bubbles underneath. And now we can put this one right in there. And we'll put this one right in here, so then I can start adding a little bit of the like leaf stem things in. Come on. Put this one. Gosh, I wish I could look on the other side to see how this looks. And I am really, really nervous to put that bird in there, guys. I want to so bad. But I don't want to take a chance for one, it bleeding. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'll try it in the square one, and I will get some different, more tree looking type things. So yeah, we will do that one coming right up too, guys. I guess I'm going to have to order some of the Let's Resin deep pour. So I'll have some to do these. And I still want it to kind of like cascade around this big flower here. And I want different heights. I just don't want these like stems showing. I want them on top of like the flowers. Okay, so I think we have enough flowers on this particular layer, and then I can look once it sets up some that I could pick it up without getting it all over me. So let me wipe my tweezers off. I have had so many compliments on my little table upstairs. So do I want to put these now? I'm thinking I'm gonna cut some of these and put these. See, and that would have given me a good stick too. So I did not do this when I did my other one. And I'm thinking, had I done that, I might have got even a better look. And I wouldn't have had them couple little tiny bubbles. And all right, gonna have some leaves towards the bottom too. Gosh, I should have double gloved, so I could have just taken one set of gloves off, but I didn't. That's all right. So what I'm gonna do is try to put that down there so the flower will show through, but again, we have our stem up here. I want my stems up. All right, this might have to, there we go. So I'm making sure that everything is going to stay below this top level. So I do want some different, even though it's probably not going to show, I do want, man, I just don't like those. I don't. All right, we're gonna soak this one and I'm gonna put that one here. And I think that's what we're gonna call it for so I'm hoping that like these little flowers, I don't want them to look like they're pressed. I want them to still have like a little bit of movement to them. Okay, so wipe my gloves here. And now I'm gonna pour and hope and pray that my things don't start floating. Let me just give this a good spritz. So everything that is coated will, once this sets up and thickens, it will stay there. So then I don't have to worry about, then I can fill this without worrying about things floating. So that is lifting those little flowers under there a little bit, which is what I wanted them to do. So it won't take the 64 ounces because we have a lot of things in this pot, mold, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Okay. Let me just wipe this cup out because these cups here are really expensive and they have the measurements on them, so I try and at least reuse them for like one big project like this so that, yeah, my hands are so sticky that, but it's just so I can still see the numbers because it gives me the 2 to 1, because guys, I suck at math. I really, really do. So, all right, I'm gonna take my gloves off and I'm just gonna use my heat gun a little bit on low. Just if there's any bubbles, hopefully we can get them to pop. And I can see something. Right there. Come on. And something down in here. It's probably off of these flowers, but I really, really want this to be as clear as possible. Okay. And I don't see anything else. Okay, so I'm going to leave this overnight. And hopefully by morning that is tacky. And then I can, I'll probably mix up 32 ounces. And I think I'm just going to pour the rest clear. I'm not going to tint it at all. I don't even think I'm going to put any glitter because last time I did, it just, I don't know, it kind of took over a little bit. I might have put too much, but I'm just going to leave this one completely clear, no sparkles, no nothing. And we'll just see how it looks. Alrighty guys, I will see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay guys, so this is not fully cured, but it's a little like tacky. You know, it's making like little strings. So I've mixed up 30 ounces and I'm just going to pour this in. I am going to put it on my curing base so I can move this off my table. So if I have to make another project, I have my table available. Normally, if I would have let this get hard, then I could have just picked it up because I would have had the hard bottom. But because it's still really soft, but I don't want to get that line in the edge. So that's why I am pouring it now. So I ended up mixing 2 cups. I do just want to make sure that I've got everything incorporated. So I used my Estoyo hand mixer. I have the stand one and the handheld. So I got one ready in the stand mixer. So that was mixing. And then I mixed the other one by hand. But I just want to make sure that I have everything off the bottom and off the sides so that we have it fully incorporated. And I know I'm going to have some bubbles on this one because of these open flower things. I tried filling it last night, you know, when I got done doing it. And I kept like putting resin in the holes, but because it wasn't completely cured, it just kept oozing out the bottom. So I'm hoping for the best. No bubbles. And like I said, I'm not putting anything in this. I'm going to leave this just clear. So let me start pouring. I'm going to pour a little bit, and then I'm going to use the heat gun. I did not run this through my debubbler. Just because I know this has got a long time to degas, so I'm just trying to make sure those little stems that I can see are full. So I'll pour this one, and then I'm going to run the heat gun. And then I will pour the other one, and we will run the heat gun again. So I sat here for, must be at least a half an hour last night, just making sure that I couldn't see any bubbles in there. Like this flower here, I'm getting some bubbles. So there are a few little bubbles in this flower I am now seeing. But if they're in the petals, that's going to be fine. Like this one has like little bubbles sticking around the stem. So I just want to take my time, and any that I can see, I want to get out. See how there's bubbles coming out of this flower? I probably should have poured this first layer a little thicker, but it is what it is. But you can see how there's like little bubbles coming up. So I'm just pushing on those little petals that are still pliable. And see how there's bubbles in there? I just want them to come out. And it only seems like it's those two that are having, there's one or two that came out of there. So I'm just trying to really concentrate this time on trying to work out those little pesky bubbles. I mean, if there's some on the leaves, it's not that big of a deal because they will look like dewdrops, but I would like to get as many out as I can. And I mean, this is the back side, so it's not, I mean, if there are a few bubbles, but I'd like to get most of them gone. Okay. Give it a spritz. Okay, not seeing any more, so let's get this bucket in there. And I might have to make up a little bit more. So this is 3 containers at 16 ounces each. And I'm assuming I'm gonna have to make one more. I'll just do that one off camera, but I am going to finish filling this one. And then what I'll do is I will let this sit for, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours, and then I will put my my curing machine on once everything has like solidified. Oh, I got a piece of glitter floating. Piece of something, something right here. And I got it. And there's a bubble there. Just bring these bubbles to the surface. So I'm hoping now that these flowers are like completely submerged, that these bubbles will stay out. Get out of my flowers. You are not welcome. And I want to make sure that I get those stems so the resin can like go down in those stems. See how that was a bubble on the top? See all the bubbles that just came out of there? Come on, look at the bubbles coming out of there. It's like a fishy breathing underneath there. So those are the little areas that you really have to like pay attention to, is where any of those that you can reach anyways. See, like this one here. Because once that's completely filled with the resin, then you won't have any bubbles getting in there because it's full. But you've got to make sure that there's no air pockets in there. So this will take a little bit of time, just, you know, kind of going over and making sure. But All right, guys. So what I'll do is I'll mix up another, oh, I don't even know if I want to do a, yeah, I'm going to do another 16 ounces. And if I have extra, I'll make something with it. So, and while that's mixing, I will mess with this and run the heat gun some more and just really try to get this to be as clear as possible. All right, guys, I will be back on demold. Okay, guys, so I waited like 6 hours. I waited for this to not move for 1 whole hour. Nothing pop up, nothing, no bubbles. So I put it in the curing machine and I came back an hour later and I had some bubbles. I had this rise up. So yeah, we're gonna have to sand the back, which I really didn't want to do, but you know, shit happens and we got to move on. So it's still pretty warm right now. So I figured what I would do is I would get it unmolded and I'm going to sand it with my rotary sander. Well, it's not a rotary one. It's, let me see, where is it? Right here. Oh. It is one of these. So that's what I'm going to sand the back of it with. And hopefully we can salvage it. But before I go through all of that, I want to see if it's going to be worth it, if the front looks okay. So I figured what I would do is, I mean, I don't know if you guys want me to start sanding it on video, and then just come back to back coat it. I'm not sure. What in the world is that? Well, guys, I am not going to even bother because I do not even know why I got that. I don't know. And I have a bubble here. Oh. Fail, fail, fail. I'm trying to think if there is something that I could put over at least this one. That one doesn't look so bad, but even though this mold is really scratchy, so either way, I would have to top coat and back coat the whole thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I can do to fix that because it's on the inside. And that, I don't know. There's a few bubbles. I was trying to push my luck and get it done quickly, and that's what happens when you try and rush something. I suppose I maybe could put like a sticker over this. I mean, the bubbles on the leaves, I can deal with that because they look like dewdrops. But that I don't like. And that, I don't know. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. So, hopefully the video coming out after this, I did figure out what to do with the square one, and I did do the bird. So hopefully I don't have the same issues with that one. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to sand this down. I will do it off video just because I don't know what I can do to fix it. So I will get this sanded, get the other side sanded, and figure out what we can do. I don't know if I drilled down in there. I don't know. I just don't know. So, yeah. All right, let me see if I can even get the back sanded, and we'll go from there. So you're either going to see photos of a fail, or I will come back and hopefully have salvaged this. So I don't know. Alrighty, I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I've managed to fix the back. So this is looking pretty good. So now to try and fix this front. So what I did is I just took tape and put it on the edges just in case it goes over. So I sanded this with the hand thingy. I am going to just sand a thin layer with the 120, and then where's my other one here? Oh, right here. And this is a 400 grit. So I'm just gonna go over this lightly. And this is wet dry sandpaper, so I just figured I would kind of show you. And then I'm gonna try and disguise the spots with some stickers of some sort. So we're gonna go in with the 120 first. And just so I think I know what happened, because it kind of did it on the video that's going to come out after this one. I think it was still too hot when I poured that layer of resin and it flash cured, I believe is what happened. So, all right, now I'm going to do the 400 with the wet. And then we will clean this. And I do have 3 ounces of resin mix. It's all mixed, it's degassing. And hopefully I can somewhat save this piece. Somewhat. Because that's the one that I really want to save right there. And I'm going to get a little micro brush, a little bit of alcohol, and And I'm going to flip my paper towel over, and we are just going to give that a good clean. So I have the towel on the back, so when I turn my piece, I don't have to worry about scratching it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some resin around the edges, and then we'll fill it in. Let's see. I'm going to try using this one. And I got some pokey sticks if I need it. Okay, so hopefully we can somewhat save this because it really, really looks good. So I'm gonna move my water so I don't screw up. And I'm just going to give it a spritz. And I'm just gonna go along the edges. Hang on, let me pop some gloves on. All right. And I know 3 ounces is probably going to be too much, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough. So this is my first real big piece that has been a disaster. And I was trying to rush. It's my own fault. I was being impatient. All right, so I'm gonna move that out of the way. And I'm just going to get that to the edges. And now we'll just start blending these together. And I know a lot of people like start in the middle and work around, but I just find if I do the edges first, it works a little better for me. So, you know, again, everybody has their own way of doing things, so and then I'm just gonna leave this to cure. So what I did on the other side is, once I got like all the bubbles and everything out, I just took the cover to my curing machine and set it on top of this so that nothing would get in there. So what I think I will do is do the same thing for this. And then we will just let this cure and hopefully somewhat salvage this disaster. I'm not impressed that the face of this mold was not completely smooth. It was really it had lots of little blemishes on it, so I wasn't too happy with that. But hopefully this will fix it. And I'm going to try and put the sticker in while this is wet, so it will be underneath. So we will be having another candle video coming up real soon. And probably a painting one. So I'm going to spray this, and then I'm going to take my heat gun on low, so I definitely want to pay attention to this area to get the bubbles out so I can put that sticker in. right. Oop. A little too aggressive there. Okay, nothing else. Nothing else is going over. So, all right, let me see. This one might be nice. These are the peacock. And that one's not quite tall enough. All right, so let me... Oh, let me get some scissors. So I'm just trying to cut around this as close as I can. Yeah, I'm trying to separate it so I don't end up getting the rest of the roll in the resin. So I'm just cutting these little bead things off because I want just the peacock. All right. So that might work, guys. Oh my goodness, guys, we might have saved this piece. So, so that doesn't look too bad. So, trying to see. All right, let's try this. I gotta cut it so that I can hold it up to see if I'm gonna like it there. Hang on, guys, almost done. I'm just cutting around. work there. I was just going to leave that one, but if I can disguise it, it will be even better. Come on. I got it separated. I just can't grab it with my gloves. There we go. I don't want to put too much, but I want to make sure that they're completely encased. So I know it's hard for you to see. There's one. Okay. So I'm just going to watch this for a little bit to make sure that everything is fine, and then I'm going to put the cover on top of it to make sure that nothing gets in here. And hopefully we have somewhat salvaged this piece. I was really, really stressing. So, oh crap, hang on. Okay. And now I gotta move this, clean that. Did have some run over. Have a smidge too much. Let me grab a I have pipettes. right, I think we got it, guys. Don't want it sitting at any really. I fix one boo-boo and make 15 others. Just got that smidge too much, that's all. All right, so I guess I'm gonna just have to watch this for an hour or so to make sure that nothing is leaking over. And we will be back to see if it worked, guys. So I do have a few little something in here. And I want to make sure those stay completely under, because I really don't want to have to top coat this again. All right. I will see you in a little bit. Okay, guys. So I think I've saved it. Let me, and I did have some oozing down over the edge, so I'm gonna probably need to use my heat gun. Let me just see if I can get a spot started. So I am going to have to put another coat on it. And I'll show you that in just a second. This has just been, oh my word, a pain in my side. And the top is still somewhat soft, so I do have to be careful. But I wanted to get this somewhat done. So I am going to have to do something with the sides. Once it fully cures, I might take my new bits and see if I can just kind of polish that on the sides. So I will keep you updated, but I do want to at least get this video out. Seeing some 2 days behind where I wanted it to be. But, you know, shit happens. And we have to deal. So. So I might be able to just buff that out. I'm hoping. See if I can use my deburring tool. All right, so this is the front of it. So I managed to somewhat save it, but I definitely need to put another thin layer over the whole thing. But you know, and like I said, there are a few small bubbles in it, you know, and I'm gonna try and work that out where the tape was. And I had some overflow, so, but I want that top to really harden up some more before I do that. So I will get some pictures so we can get this done. I'm gonna put another coat over the top, and I'm going to try buffing the sides. If that doesn't work, I'll probably just tape the bottom and do the sides as well, just to have a nice finish. But I can't really put it on its front yet. I mean, I suppose I could try and buff it this way, but I don't want anything to stick to the front. In the back, still looks pristine, so that we're good on. So I'm just going to give this a little bit more time. Oh, we do have one bubble here. So I definitely will have to coat the sides as well on the next one. So I'll just tape the bottom. And I will probably show you that on an upcoming video of the finished piece. But I do at least want to get this video out to show you that I was able to salvage it. And I mean, I think it looks pretty, you know, just the way it is. So, yay. What a chore this one has been. So, yeah, so stay tuned for some final pictures, and I will update you on a future video on, you know, what the final results are. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day.